Continuing our review with the material from test 3, okay, starting with linear equations. So here we have a linear equation, and we're going to open up parentheses to start with. So let's see, we have 5 times 3, that's 15, minus 10x plus 1 is equal to 4x plus 2. And now let's gather together those x terms, minus 4x on both sides. And we have 15 minus 14x plus 1 is equal to 2. Now let's add the like terms. 15 plus 1, 16 minus 14x is equal to 2. And now let's subtract 16 from both sides. We want to isolate the x term, so subtract 16 from both sides. And we have minus 14x is equal to minus 14. And finally, isolate x by dividing, and we get x is equal to 1. Let's do a little check of our solution right here. So we're going to substitute x equal 1 back into the original equation, and we get 5 times 3 minus 2, substituting in x equal 1, plus 1 is equal to 4 plus 2, again substituting in x equal 1. 3 minus 2 is 1, so we have 5 plus 1 is equal to 4 plus 2, where 6 equals 6. Alright, so we see that x equal 1 is the correct solution. In number 2, we have a linear equation that contains some coefficients with decimals, that is the 3.5 and the 2.5. So we're going to simplify the linear equation by multiplying both sides by 10, which will move that decimal place over one place, and so the coefficients will then be whole numbers. Okay, so let's do that. So here we're going to multiply both sides by 10, and the left side as well by 10. Okay, let's multiply through. 10 times 3.5 is 35. 35x minus 70 is equal to 25x. All right, let's subtract 35x from both sides. That way we'll isolate the x term on the right-hand side. So we have minus 70 is equal to negative 10x, and then divide by negative 10, and we get that x is equal to 7. In number 3, we have a linear equation, and we have some coefficients that are fractions. The denominators are 3 and 7. So we want to multiply by a number that 7 divides into and 3 divides into. That way we'll clear out the fractions. Okay, so the smallest number that both 7 and 3 divide into evenly is 21. So we're going to multiply both sides by 21. Okay, that's on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side as well. We'll multiply by 21. All right, on the right-hand side, we can just divide 7 into 21. And we have 5 times 3, or 15, on the right-hand side. On the left side, let's multiply through by that 21, or 21 over 1. Let's see. Let's say we have 21 over 1 times 2x over 3 plus 21 over 1 times x over 7. So we like to do that, multiply through, and then cancel in the next step. Okay, now let's do our canceling. 3 divides into 21. That is 7 times. And 7 divides into 21 3 times. So we have 7 times 2x, that's 14x, plus 3x is equal to 15. So that's 17x is equal to 15. All right, and just divide by 17. And we have x is equal to 15 over 7. 15 over 17. In number 4, we also have a linear equation with fractions, and we have two denominators of 5 and 2. So again, we're going to clear out the denominators by multiplying both sides by the smallest number that 5 divides into, and 5 divides into, and 2 divides into, so that would be 10. So let's do that. Let's multiply both sides by 10, or 10 over 1, and here as well. We're multiplying by 10. All right. On the right-hand side, we'll just simplify before we multiply. 2 into 10 is 5. All right. So on the right-hand side, we have 5 times x plus 1. That is 5x plus 5. On the left side, we'll do a distributive law before we do our canceling. So let's do that. We have 10 over 1 times the fraction 3x plus 2 over 5 plus 40. And now do your canceling. 5 goes into 10 2 times. All right, so we have 2 times 3x plus 2. That is 6x plus 4 plus 40 is equal to 5x plus 5. Add these like terms, 4 plus 40, so we have 6x plus 44 is equal to 5x plus 5. All right, let's subtract 5x from both sides. And we have x plus 44 is equal to 5. And now finally we're going to subtract 44 from both sides. And so finally we have x is equal to 5 minus 44. We have negative 39. Okay, this equation is basically of the form a fraction is equal to a fraction. So what we do in this case is we can cross multiply. All right, so let's do that. Let's start with 3x times 4. That's 12x is equal to 5 times 2x plus 1. All right, so we have 12x is equal to 10x plus 5. All right, now we'll just subtract 10x from both sides. That'll gather together the x terms, and we get 2x is equal to 5, and finally just divide by 2. And we have x is equal to 5 over 2. Here in number 6 we have a linear equation that, and we're supposed to solve for x, but we do have other variables in our equation. So we'll start by isolating the x term. We'll subtract 2b from both sides and line up the 2b right here underneath this 5b because they are like terms. All right, so we have 3ax is equal to 3b plus 7. And finally, we're going to just divide both sides by 3a in order to solve for x. And we get that x is equal to 3b plus 7 divided by 3a. Notice that we can't do any further reducing because, or we can't divide top and bottom by 3, for example, because 3 does not divide into the entire numerator. It doesn't divide into 7. All right, so this is it.